if doing the certain actions or doing the certain habits have gotten you this far in life, what do you think is going to get you next? Welcome back, guys. It's your boy Richie Rich coming back to you with another video. Today, as you can see, the title is Mind Over Matter. Now, we're going to get straight into it. What do I mean by mind over matter? A lot of people, especially going into 2024, we want to make sure that we put our mind on what matters the most. Because what you give your attention to is indefinitely or inevitably what's going to come to pass in your life, whether that's good or whether that's bad. And only you can decide what you choose to focus on. At the end of the day, we get free will, but it's up to us to discern what we spend that free will on, what we spend our time on, what we spend our resources on. So in order to be able to live the best life that we can, we got to make sure that we're not giving too much attention to things that don't really matter. Now, what are some things that maybe, don't matter as much, but we tell ourselves that it's this crazy, abnormal thing that we have to give our attention to? Maybe that's bad habits. Maybe that's people who we hang out with. Maybe that's certain activities that we engage in that are not fruitful. Or maybe that's just, wanting to start something new and possibly procrastinating about it, or trying to find out everything that you can about it before getting started. Analysis paralysis, which is something that you don't want to really get involved in, because if you want to know everything about something before you get started, your odds are you're probably never going to get started on it. Just like me, I could say, for example, me doing the YouTube, it's pretty new to me. Maybe I've put out a couple videos, sure, but I believe in myself. I believe in, me putting in the efforts, and the fruit will come. Not looking to see, 100,000 subscribers overnight. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to put in the time, I'm going to put in the effort, and most importantly, I'm going to give you guys the value, and then you'll see, if you stay tuned and you subscribe and you like this channel, you're going to see what comes out of it. Maybe it'll come soon, maybe it'll come later. I really don't care. It's going to happen regardless. I'm just never going to give up, because I believe in myself. As you see, believer in God, believer in myself, and we're going to manifest it.
Facts.
And really, in life, you only have a certain amount of fucks to give. So if you give it to a certain situation that's ongoing, what are you going to do to that situation? You're going to amplify it. Maybe it's you wanting to lose weight, and all you can seem to do is pick up that donut or eat that pizza or eat that junk food, whatever it is, you fill in the blank. It always brings you to a certain place, and then after you're like, what did I just do? So what can you do? Don't focus on that. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best scenario for you, and you did the deed that you didn't want to do, So what can you do? Focus on, okay, when I get this urge again, instead of craving it, instead of giving in to what's got my attention, I'm gonna go ahead and substitute it for something else. Okay, whenever I want something sweet, I'm gonna go ahead and do X. Maybe I'm gonna read a book, or maybe I'm gonna stop, take a couple deep breaths, and acknowledge, that it's there, but I don't have to act on it, because that's all it is. It's an impulse. You can either give into it or let it fade away. You are the master of your thoughts, and that's all it is in this game of life. It's the thoughts you have that lead to actions. Well, first they lead to feelings, then they lead to emotions, then they lead to that, inevitably, that action that you take. But you can stop this by consciously thinking about it and rewiring the way that you think about it. Because think about it as this, once upon a time, before, in the past, you weren't doing this thing. Maybe you weren't overeating, maybe you weren't, smoking, maybe you weren't drinking, but as time went on, maybe you've linked with certain people, or you're surrounded by yourself by certain people, or your environment, or maybe a mom or a dad growing up where you've seen it, and that's your reaction, your initial reaction. Okay, I feel some type of anxiety, or I feel some type of stress. Let me go ahead and do this to cope with it. And that's all it is. That's a coping mechanism. You don't have to do that. You can replace it with something that's more positive, something that's going to give you life instead of take it from you. So at the end of the day, put yourself in this position, for example. Would the 5-year version of yourself that you see in your head be doing these things, or would they be way ahead and not even thinking twice about it? Because sometimes that's what you have to do too. Act as if you are that person 5 years from now. How else do you expect to get there? How else? If doing the certain actions or doing the certain habits have gotten you this far in life, what do you think is going to get you next? Probably not far, probably in the same position again. So that's why I told you guys, in the last video, maybe you haven't checked it out, I'll put the link here after the video. But reevaluate everything in your life. If you're feeling a certain way and you don't want to feel that way, maybe it's the people you're surrounding yourself around. Maybe when you're hanging out with a certain friend, you get this certain gut feeling that like something feels off, or man, I always go against my will, or I always go against my word, or I always go against what I want to do when I'm with this person. I don't know why. Maybe the solution, the answer is distancing yourself from that person. Or if it's, every time I'm in this certain situation, or every time I have a certain thought, I always engage in this certain action. You fill in the blank with whatever action it is, then maybe you should take the steps in advance, so that when that feeling arises or that thought comes into your head, you already have a game plan for it. You already know what you're gonna do. If it's, like I said, one of the vices, one of the addictions maybe you're struggling with, substitute it, because you can't change a habit just by cutting it off cold turkey. I mean, some do, some can, those are the anomalies, but more often than not, you're gonna have to substitute it for something else. So that whenever you feel this feeling to do something, go ahead and think of what you can do in order to substitute that time where you would usually do X with something else. And also, mind over matter comes into effect when you take too much consideration of other people's opinions, or other people's opinion of you, or other people's reactions or reflections, or whatever you want to call it, of yourself, and you give that too much attention. Maybe you want to do something, you want to open that business, you want to start going to the gym, you want to start getting on self-development, you want to start reading books, whatever it is, but you're worried about what Joe Schmo's gonna say, or what my friend is gonna say, or what my brother's gonna say, or what my sister, my cousin, my family, my aunt, my uncle. Oh, you're too good now. Oh, you think you're too good, opening that business? Why don't you just stay here at this job, like you've been working here for 5 years? Or, oh, you think you should start working out now, like, oh, you're too good. What do you think? Does that seem like a friend? Does that seem like someone who wants to see you do good? Just keep in mind, guys, we live in this matrix. People want to see you do good, but they never want to see you do better than them. That's the truth of the matter. People want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. And that's on them. Let them deal with that, whatever. But I know if you're watching this right now, you expect better for yourself. You know the life that you can have if you go ahead and commit to the actions necessary to take that. So when it comes to people's opinions, or if you share something with them, maybe that you're excited about, something that you really want to do, something that has been on your mind for a while, and you're not getting the reaction that you thought you'd get, maybe it's more negative than positive, take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to accept every reaction or every opinion that someone throws at you. That's all they are, opinions. Then what's gonna happen? Alright, I understand Joe said such and such, whatever, but I believe in this. I know that I can do it. I put my mind to it. I know what's in me. They don't know what's in me. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to it. I'm going to go ahead and do what I have to do in order to make it happen, because if I don't do it, I'll stay the same. And sure, maybe they'll accept me more, but what do I think of myself? You're the one that has to go to sleep with yourself every night. Are you really okay putting off something that you know that you're passionate about because of what someone else said? Are you going to continue to live your life based on what other people think about you? It's too short to give a fuck about anybody thinks about you. At the end of the day, no one's coming to save you. They're not going to give you the money. They're not going to give you the business idea. They're not going to give you the resources. They're not going to give you anything that you need in order to go ahead and further your progress and further your development. So you got to take life by the horns. You got to set the boundaries. You got to set your intentions. You got to make sure that you have those boundaries set and those borderlines, so that when something comes up or if someone comes to you with something negative, which is more than likely not even them, it's probably, you know, a thought that they got from someone else that they're just putting onto you. But I'll leave it off of this because I don't want to make it too long. If they knew the ideas that were inside of you and what you know, they wouldn't be giving you that advice. If they knew what you know, they wouldn't be giving you that advice. So because they don't know that, you can go ahead, you know, maybe you love them dearly. That's cool, you know, that's awesome. We have people that we love dearly that don't give us the advice that maybe we want or that we expect. But you can let them know, okay, I understand. And okay, you know, maybe you feel that way. But in my life, I only get one. So I'm going to do whatever it is that I want because I believe in myself. And I know that if I stick to it, I'm going to see the fruit on the other side. Hope this helped. Hope this added value to your life. If you like what you saw here, smash the like button, smash the subscribe, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another video. This is Richie Rich, signing out.